From the gridirons around Michiana, this is 16 Sports Extra, brought to you by Monteith's Best One Tire and Auto Care.
Welcome into 16 Sports Extra. I'm Jackson Neal. That's Sabrina Hoover. Sabrina, we still have several teams very much alive here playing in the regional championships. It doesn't get more exciting than that.
Exactly, it sure is. Last week we learned the identity of some of our local teams, and jumping right into Class 4A, I think we learned the identity of those St. Joseph Huskies, right?
Yeah, they sure shocked the Mishawaka Cavemen last week, capturing their first sectional championship since 2015, but the work is not done yet. They faced Hobart here tonight, looking to add to that. One of the biggest games to ever take place on Father Blythe Field tonight for this Huskies program. All right, let's pick it up in the first half. No score. Huskies trying to get some offense going. Sam Scagliano throws outside to Dallas Downey on a third down. He breaks free, picks up a huge chunk of yards, so the Huskies are driving, and it leads to this field goal from Ryder Place. St. Joe takes an early 3-0 lead with that kick. Second quarter now, Huskies have the ball again and throwing again, but this time interception. Stephen Miller for the Brickies. That sets them up with some great field position. And it doesn't take long for them to capitalize. Several plays later, up the middle, Maximus Pickett, what a name, fighting through, scoring a TD. Hobart takes a 7-3 lead. Second half now. St. Joseph still trailing, but now they're dialing up a trick play. Reverse, Downey. The lefty throws. James Cronity. Touchdown. They go back in front 10-7. Hobart now trying to get something going themselves late in this game. They're taking shots downfield as well as he's able to get a little room, but Cronity making plays on the defensive side of the ball now. Interception, he runs this one back, gets a good return, but after a flag it comes back. It's still a turnover though. All right, final play of the game now for the Brookies. Looking for a miracle, buying time, looking towards the end zone. Ball is deep. Is this one going to be caught? No, it isn't. St. Joseph wins, and well, get out of the way. The students are rushing the field. Huskies win the regional championship 10-7.
Couldn't feel better. It's the best feeling in the world, primarily because of how hard it is to get here. You know, if we had the type of team where we were just heavy favorites every time we played, it would still feel very, very good. But to experience some of the key losses that we experienced in terms of injuries and transfers and things of that nature, and for that to actually kind of make us closer and make us kind of, you know, find ways to win. Of course, we have that defense, and special teams has been lights out. Punt team did a phenomenal job tonight. But offense has been chugging along, too, doing some really impressive things as long as we can just sustain and finish drives.
Such a great win right there. But now time to move to Class 6A to another team that's had a lot of success this season.
Exactly. The Penn Kingsmen showed they can compete with the best, getting that big win over Crown Point. Now they turn their eyes towards Carroll. And I thought I was ready to skip Thanksgiving and get to Christmas. Turns out the Penn student section wants to do that as well. The Kingsmen led this one 9-0 to start. And along with the offense, this defense sure made a statement. Noah Wallace gets the QB. He had quite the night. But the Chargers have some weapons. Jaden Van Pelt hauls this in, and he's telling that Kingsman student section to shush over there. The 2-point conversion is good, and the score is now 9-8. Carroll's offense back on the field. Asher Wagner this time. The Chargers now take their first lead of the night, and you could hear a pin drop in this place after that TD. And with under 5 to play before half, the Chargers want to do more damage. It's Wagner again. He's in for the score. Now it's 21-9. But one thing we know about this Penn team is they can fight back. Landon Hall, absolute dime to Brayson Hurley. I mean, what a throw. What a catch for a crazy touchdown right there. But now here in the third quarter, Colton Hernandez, he's had such a great season, and he's sure making everyone miss on this play. Penn now retakes the lead 23-21, and here's this defense again. Yeah, it's the sophomore again. Wallace puts pressure on this QB. He did that all night long. Another huge sack to keep the Chargers from doing anything. You talk about a back-and-forth battle here. Jadon Parker this time fights his way for 6. This team does not quit. We know this about the Kingsmen. Now here in the fourth quarter, Penn attempts a field goal to extend the lead. However, that is no good. And that's kind of when momentum shifted for this group. Carroll was able to come back in this one to beat Penn 41-30 to win the Class 6A Regional Championship. But what a great season it was for the Kingsmen. They have so much to be proud of, Jackson. But now let's turn to a team that's been on fire lately, and they're doing it without even having a home stadium right now. The Concord Minutemen are coming off a huge win over Fort Wayne Northside just last week.
Yeah, and now they look to keep that momentum going as they face Lafayette Jefferson in the Class 5A Regional Championship. And as you mentioned, no home fields. This one's going on over at Rice Field in Elkhart. Early on, going to be a handoff by the Minutemen to Derek Gomez. Finds a hole, breaks it open, touchdown Concord. They scored the first points of the game with that run. A little bit later, they get the ball back after a goal line stand. This time, quarterback Bo Brunner, yeah, he's just keeping it himself, staying on his feet somehow right here. Finds some open grass, takes it all the way to the house for another touchdown, 14-0 lead. Lafayette Jefferson, though, gets their own offense going. Tristan Barrett throwing it, looking deep, finds Bryce Vanistron. Huge play, touchdown for the visitors. It's a one-possession game again, but it's not a Concord highlight if it doesn't include Reese Brevard somehow finding just enough space to get through into the end zone. Minutemen extending their lead. Later in the first half, it's Nathan Potter drilling this field goal, and he would end up being the hero later in this one, nailing a 48-yarder as time expired to give the Minutemen a thrilling 47-45 win. Check out this kick right here. Nailed it right there. Perfect. So a lot of great matchups. Well, and that does it, though, for the first half of 16 Sports Extra.
But do not go anywhere, though. We have a few more highlights from our area that we still need to go over. But first, here's tonight's lottery numbers. Good luck.